Hello everyone, welcome to this week's coin news video. 15 minutes late today, had a bit of a rush on in the shop. Finally got away and out the back here. Catherine's holding the fort down out the front. Week is going perfectly fine so far. We had a lot of people in here yesterday. It was very busy actually. I was surprised how busy it is. A little bit of buying, a little bit of selling, which is always good. We're getting all ready for next week's mint releases and just sort of finalising numbers on those. And I don't really think there's any remarkable coins of note that have come in that are worth sharing. And if there are, I didn't think about them this morning and I've run out of time to do my prep anyway. So as always, I do encourage anyone who has any questions out there to ask them, and I'll do my best to answer them during the video. So we'll just say a few hellos. Hello Matthew, hello Aaron, hello Matthew number 2, Tony and Tony number 2, Greg, Leonie, Gary and Alan, and Michael. Leonie says good morning from sunny Queensland, so I'm assuming that it has stopped raining wherever you are in Queensland, Leonie, thank goodness. 2 of our children are actually up in Queensland on holidays at the moment, and I think they've got rained in for the entire time that they were up there, so poor timing, unfortunately. Hello, Christopher King from Melbourne, thank you for joining in. Hello, Gwen. So, news for this week. I must admit, I struggled a little bit for news this week because I haven't been on the social media as much this week due to being busy and having a bit of social media overload and trying to have a bit of a break. But there's the news for this week. We're still looking at having little or no online stock available for the Indigenous Military Service releases next week. We haven't quite finalise the numbers yet, but it's not looking good for online stock. Our allocation was quite low, and as I said to you last week, if you want to complain about that, feel free to contact the RAM and tell them to give us more stuff. I have seen the ongoing sale of $2 coins, graded $2 coins, anything MS65 and below is not performing well, and have seen numbers of those being sold boxes at a time for really just barely more than the grading cost. So there is always going to be weakness in any market with lower quality items. What does that mean? It means that if you are going to try to trade in graded coins, then you should be careful about the quality of the coins that you either buy or get graded, because as we always say, buy and collect the best quality that you can afford. Catherine noticed last night that a 2018 $2 anniversary set sold for under $400, and it's been a while since we've noticed that, so that price has really fallen away. Now, I was supposed to bring an Australasian Coin and Banknote magazine in here and show you, but we made the front page of the current edition of that. If you are still into paper magazines, then the Australasian Coin and Banknote magazine is a good read, and Catherine and I have an article in there every month, and this month's article made the front page, the front cover, which is always nice. The other bit of news is that we have bought up the remaining stock of these, the 2019 moon landing 1 ounce domed coin. The release price, the retail price is $150, but we've got them available on our website for $110. It's all brand new stock from the mint. If you don't have one of those in your collection, it's a pretty good price to get them at. So it's a nickel plated domed thing, quite an attractive coin. I've got one of these in my collection, and so does Catherine, and as you would well know, we don't usually collect this sort of stuff, but they're very pretty things. If you want one of those, go and grab one off of our website, or if you're dropping into the shop, you can find one in here. So we'll just dump the news slide there and we'll have a look at some questions. Aaron says, can you please clarify the rotary coin release backflip coloured coin not being released into circulation? Number one, no, it is not being released into circulation. Number two, I think that the only reason that it was ever suggested that it was is because a Rotary Club in Sydney published that on their website, and erroneously. I believe the same Rotary Club also erroneously released the images that had the yellow Rotary symbol on them. And, you know, why did they do it erroneously? I suspect that there was confusion between the Mint using coin struck to circulation standard or an uncirculated coin, and perhaps Rotary assuming that meant that it was going to go into circulation. Having seen the coin itself, I don't think it was ever designed to go into circulation. It doesn't have the same protective mechanisms for the coloured paint that the $2 coin and the donation dollar do. It's quite flat and there's no protection there, and the paint would basically wear off straight away, which means to me that it was never meant for circulation. I suspect that there, as I said, there was confusion between the Rotary Club and the Mint, so that would be my guess of what's going on. Brendan says, are there going to be 5,000 rolls or 7,500? Now, Brendan, I thought there was going to be 10,000. And if you just, I'll just confirm, I think there's going to be 10,000. And I'm probably going to get in trouble for sharing this information because it's probably commercial in confidence or something, but what are you going to do? Just let me check. Yep, 10,000. 10,000 rolls is the word. Okay, Brendan, so there's your answer about the Indigenous service rolls. If no one has any more questions, we'll jump into the couple of things I was going to talk about today. One is a nice little 5-cent error that we popped up on our webpage yesterday, and it was interesting simply because it went up at the same time as another 5-cent error, and even though they looked quite similar, they were different errors. Now, apologies to those of you that know all of this, because I do try to talk about the basics of coin manufacturing, but when a coin is manufactured, it's struck with 3 dies. There's the obverse die that strikes the head side, there's the reverse die that strikes the tail side, and then there's a collar die that actually goes around the coin, and as the coin is squished outwards, the collar die forms the edge reading on the coin if the coin needs edge reading. Now, if the collar die gets stuck or doesn't move back into place properly, then coins can be struck where there is no collar die present, or even sometimes when the collar die is only partially present. So this error that you see here, if you look around the edge of the 5-cent piece, it has no reading at all, which to me means that the collar die was not present. This coin has been struck out of collar. Out of collar means struck out of the collar die. And furthermore, some of the reverse design is missing, which, you know, technically makes this an off-center 5-cent piece. Now, the other 5-cent piece that we posted up at the same time looked remarkably similar, but if you examined the edges closely, there was a little bit of reading present. The reading being the lines around the edge of the coin. I'm just seeing if I've got a reeded coin here. Oh, there we go. There's a Standing Liberty 50-cent piece. I can get it to focus on that, but you can see the edge reading around the edge of that coin. So that other 5-cent error. Peter's in here making trouble. Oh, Peter Andrews, I will answer your question presently. The other 5-cent piece had a little bit of edge reading, and it is what is known as a partial collar error. So that's slightly different errors. 5-cent pieces are good coins to look out for errors because they are, in some terms, they're quite common and quite affordable. And if you're looking to put together sort of an error type set of decimal coins, commonly seen errors, then 5-cent pieces are the way to do it. Right, so we'll just jump back to this, and then before we duck onto the next topic. So Peter Andrews says, is it true that the Indigenous Series $2 will be extremely rare in dealer stock books? We I'm not allowed to say what our allocation of the Indigenous C Mint Mark coin was, but I can share with you that it is about half of the proportion that we usually expect to get. And it is less than what we were allocated for the end of World War II coin, the 2020 end of World War II coin. Much less. It is an embarrassingly small number. And Catherine and I were very surprised. And as we suggested last week, there's a good chance that Catherine and I will be on the Mint website on release day trying to get some more at release price, just so we've got enough to sell as people come in through the front door. And, you know, being a coin shop and trying to keep the lights on and having to buy at release price and perhaps adding $1 or $2 to cover postage costs and basically selling at cost makes no sense, but that's what we have been reduced to doing. So we can, like, I'm told not to apologise for things that are out of my control, and this is completely out of my control, but I can only say sorry that we can't supply people what they want. And if you've got a problem, complain to the Mint and ask them to give us more coins. So, yeah. So Gary, who is a regular here in the shop, sent us a Facebook message last night about the different grades that PCGS assign to coins. Yes, I know, Peter. It's a very poor situation. Anyway, let's get on to happier topics. Gary, who's a regular here in the shop, and I'm just seeing if I've got a PCGS slab here. Oh, here's one. Asking about grades assigned to PCGS coins. Now, PCGS is the professional grading service in the USA. They are a service that has that is independent from coin dealers, and you're able to send coins over to them for certification and grading, and they generally apply a standard grading methodology to it, and then give it, if possible, they assign it a grade from 0 to 70, which is called the Sheldon scale. And there it is there. So PCGS and the Sheldon scale. So the Sheldon scale isn't PCGS's IP, but they use it and they apply it in a standard that they have come up with themselves. Coins can grade from 0 to 70, and for circulation coins they grade from P01 up to MS70. There are discrete steps along the way. You're not going to see an 8 or a 13 or something, so they've split it up into discrete steps along the way. So P01 and F10, F15, VF20, VF25, VF30, so you know, up the steps there. But between MS60 and MS70 there's 11 mint state grades. MS stands for mint state grades, and that's a coin that PCGS believes has not circulated. How do the grades convert? And we'll just have a quick look at a slide here from I should just say that when we get coins graded by PCGS, generally we do it through Eric at Drake Sterling Coins in Sydney. If you are thinking about getting coins graded, then Eric is the guy to talk to, and Eric was kind enough to allow us to use this graph that he has created on his website that gives you a basic idea of how the grades convert between PCGS grades and Australian adjectival grading. Now at the mint state end, MS60 to MS62 or 63 would be called uncirculated, and MS63-ish to MS64 would be choice uncirculated. MS65 to MS67 would be gem, and MS68 upwards would be what is called FDC here in Australia, which is fleur de coin, which is French for flower of the die. So that's kind of how the grades convert. What is important to understand, and this is something that a lot of people miss when they're getting started, is that that not all coins are available in all grades. So, you know, an MS64 for a 1919 florin is a spectacular grade. a spectacularly good grade, an extremely valuable coin, very hard to find, whereas an MS64 2012 Red Poppy $2 is a dog. So it's important to understand that the grades are, while the standards are the same, you achieve the standards the same. PC just uses the same standards to grade the 1919 Florin and the 2012 Red Poppy. You have to understand that each series is available in particular condition, and an MS64 on one coin is fantastic, an MS64 on another coin is terrible. What's a good grade for a decimal coin? You should be able to break up mint sets and get most of the time MS65s and MS66s and MS67s, because the quality of coin that the mint creates is excellent. Similarly with proof sets, everyone that we don't send proof sets to get graded, but people that do, they're cracking them open trying to get PR70s, so proof 70s, which is the technically perfect coin. Comes back to, we talked about quality, about collecting quality. You need to understand what is a good grade for a particular coin that you're interested in before you either buy it or before you send a coin to get graded. So you'd send the MS64 1919 Florin to get graded, but you wouldn't send the MS64 Red Poppy to get graded. So that's the kind of, in broad brushes, the sort of decisions that you need to make if you're going to start playing in that market. That was all I had to talk about today. It was just a quick one today because we've been very busy here in the shop and I haven't had a chance to really develop any new materials. I don't know if anyone has any more questions out there in Facebook land. If not, then please be like Gary and send through any questions or topics you'd like us to address in these videos. Send them through via Facebook message or email, or give us a call. Always happy to talk to people. We will probably not have the video next Thursday. It'll probably be next Friday because of the mint release on Thursday. And if you want to re-watch these videos, of course, they are all available here on our Facebook page, or they will get uploaded to YouTube. Do go and subscribe to us on YouTube, because at some point I will create dedicated content for that channel as I find time. So if no one has any more questions, we'll wind it up there today. Easter! Right, yes, so next weekend is Easter? I think next weekend is Easter. We're closed on Easter Friday and Easter Saturday. They are public holidays here in South Australia. No doubt Catherine will be processing orders through the website as always, because she never takes any time off. I hope everyone... so the video will have to be on... No, we'll do it on Friday. We'll do it on Easter Friday. I can sit at home and do it on Easter Friday. That would be fine. I hope if I don't do a video next week, everyone has a happy and safe Easter. Sorry, this hand. And thank you everyone for your support of these videos and your kind words. And we rely on you for feedback and questions and input so that we can continue to make them. I do enjoy making them, and I will continue to do so until it gets boring. So please don't let it get boring. And I will see you all next week. Be safe. Good health to everyone. Bye for now.